The studio lights of Loose Women buzz with their usual midday energy, the audience applauding as the familiar theme tune fades out. Today's panel sparkles with star power. Denise Welch, the fiery Geordie icon known for her unfiltered candor, sits flanked by her co-hosts, all buzzing with anticipation. The guest, none other than Sir Michael Caine, the silver screen legend whose cockney charm and gravelly voice have captivated generations. At 92, he's a picture of timeless elegance in a tailored blazer, his eyes twinkling with that signature mischief as he waves to the cheering crowd. The host, Christine Limpart, beams from the center, her voice warm and inviting. Welcome, welcome everyone. We are absolutely thrilled to have the one, the only, Sir Michael Caine with us today. Michael, it's an honor. Tell us, what brings you back to the Loose Women sofa after all these years? Michael leans into the mic, his smile broadening as he quips, well, love, I heard there'd be tea and no script. Can't turn that down at my age. Laughter ripples through the studio, the audience eating it up. Denise, ever the quick wit, jumps in with a playful nudge. Michael, darling, you've starred in more blockbusters than I've had hot dinners, but spill any secrets from those Batman days with Christian Bale? Did he really whisper sweet nothings to the Batmobile? The panel erupts in giggles, and Michael chuckles deeply, launching into a light-hearted yarn about late-night shoots and forgotten lines, his anecdotes painting vivid pictures of Hollywood's underbelly. As the conversation flows, the chemistry is electric. Denise hangs on his every word, her admiration palpable. She shares a personal tidbit, recalling how her husband Lincoln's portraits of Michael hang proudly in their home, calling him the godfather of cool. The audience coos, and for a moment, it feels like old friends catching up over coffee. But beneath the banter, there's a subtle undercurrent. Denise's passion for unvarnished truth often clashes with the polished narratives of showbiz. Michael, ever the storyteller, weaves tales of resilience, from his East End roots to rubbing shoulders with Spielberg, and the women nod along, enchanted. Yet, as the segment pushes toward its midpoint, Christine steers toward hotter topics, the state of British cinema, the rise of streaming giants devouring theaters. Michael's brow furrows slightly, his voice gaining an edge as he laments, it's all algorithms now, no room for the human spark. Denise, sensing a kindred spirit in his frustration, leans forward, her eyes alight. Exactly. These execs treat us like props. Remember the time you called out the snobs at the BAFTAs? Bloody brilliant. The applause swells, but Michael's laugh is a touch reserved, as if he's gauging the room. The panel dives deeper, touching on ageism in the industry, a sore spot for both. Denise recounts her own battles on Loose Women, fighting for airtime amid younger faces, while Michael nods solemnly, sharing how directors once dismissed him as too old for leads. The empathy builds, a bridge between their worlds, but cracks begin to show when Denise pivots to politics, her perennial firebrand territory. Michael, you've seen it all. Thatcher's heir to this mess now. Isn't it time we called out the Tories for gutting the arts? The studio hushes slightly. Michael's expression shifts, a flicker of discomfort crossing his lined face. He's no stranger to controversy, having voiced conservative leanings in past interviews, but here, on this vibrant women's forum, the air thickens. Denise presses on, her voice rising with conviction. Come on, love. You're one of USA working-class heroes sticking it to the elite. Michael's smile tightens, and he counters gently. Ah, Denise, it's not so black and white. I've voted both ways, seen the good in change. The audience murmurs, sensing the shift from levity to tension. Christine intervenes smoothly. Fascinating perspective. Let's hear more from our panel. But the seed is planted as commercials loom, the host promises. After the break, Michael on his latest memoir and why he's not retiring yet. Fade to ads, but backstage whispers hint at storm clouds gathering. The crew exchanges glances. Denise's passion is her superpower, but today, it might just ignite a blaze. The bustling ITV studio for Loose Women is alive with the chatter of an eager audience, the air scented with fresh coffee and excitement as the cameras roll. Denise Welch, the bold and brash panelist with her signature blonde bob and no-holds-barred attitude, sits poised at the curved desk, her co-hosts Nadia Sawalha and Kel Brianna flanking her like loyal allies in a verbal battlefield. Today's coup is legendary. Sir Michael Caine, the 92-year-old cinematic titan, his presence alone commanding reverence. Dressed in a sharp navy suit that hugs his still athletic frame, Michael settles into the guest chair with a wry grin, adjusting his glasses as the applause thunders. Host Kay Adams, ever the ringmaster, kicks off with effusive praise. Michael, from Alfie to The Dark Knight, you've defined cool for decades. What's the secret to that enduring charm? Michael's voice, that unmistakable London growl, fills the room. Simple, Kay survive the war, love the ladies, and never take no for an answer. The crowd roars, and Denise, unable to contain her glee, interjects, "Oh, Michael, you old rogue, spill the tea on those spy days with the Ipcris Filey. Did you really charm the script girl into extra lines?" Laughter cascades, Michael's eyes sparkling as he regales them with tales of 1960s Soho, cigarette smoke and all-night improvisations that birthed his breakthrough role. The panel laps it up, Nadia probing about his knighthood. Did the Queen wink at you? Kel gushing over his cameos and modern hits. Denise shares a heartfelt anecdote, revealing how Michael's autobiography inspired her during tough tabloid times. "You wrote about rising from nothing, and it hit me we're both East End scappers at heart." Michael nods warmly. "That's the bond, Denise." Class is the great leveler. As the chat meanders to his retirement rumor Sonata chants, "I'm directing next." The tone is pure joy, the audience hanging on every quip. But Denise, with her activist streak, steers toward the elephant in the room, Brexit's toll on arts funding. "Michael, you've seen Empire's Fire. How's this mess affecting British film?" He sighs, "It's fractured us. Love, talents fleeing to Hollywood, empathy flows." But when Denise launches into a tirade against Tory cuts stripping our culture bare, Michael's posture stiffens. He's endorsed conservatives before, praising their economic policies in interviews. "Now, steady on," he says lightly. "I've profited from those changes too." The studio quiets, a ripple of surprise. Christine, sensing heat, pivots. "Let's talk memoirs after the break." But the damage is done. Commercials roll, leaving a charged silence. Backstage, producers whisper Denise's fire could turn this gem into a grenade. The return promises more, but the undercurrent hums with impending clash. The women's forum on the brink of unscripted drama, lights up, and the loose women set pulses back to life. The audience's energy now laced with anticipation after that tantalizing tease. Michael Caine sips his water, his expression a mask of polite amusement, while Denise Welch fidgets slightly, her passion still simmering from the pre-break exchange. Kay Adams dives straight into safer waters. "Michael, your new book, Not Many People Know This Is the End, is flying off shelves. What's the wildest untold story in there?" Michael leans forward, voice dropping conspiratorially. The time I nearly punched Orson Welles over a poker game in Vegas. Bloke thought he could bluff me with that voice. A big mistake." Gales of laughter, the panel in stitches as he mimics Welles' booming baritone, turning a tense anecdote into comedy gold. Kel Bryan claps delightedly. "You're a natural storyteller. Ever thought of loose women full-time?" Nadia chimes in with fan questions, from his favorite co-star, Meryl, hands down as she's a force, to advice for aspiring actors, listen more than new talk. Denise, recovering her sparkle, toasts his longevity. To Michael, proof that 90 is the new 30. "How do you keep that spark with Shakira after all these years?" Michael winks. "Dirty jokes and dancing in the kitchen works every time." The room melts into chuckles, but Denise, emboldened by the warmth, circles back to the fray. "Speaking of sparks, Michael, let's get real about ageism. You fought it, I fight it daily here. But it's worse now with these woke cancel mobs silencing voices like yours." Michael's eyes narrow, his response measured. "Cancel culture's a bully, yes, but politics cuts deeper. I support free speech, even if it ruffles feathers." The audience murmurs approval, but Denise, her face flushing, pushes harder. "Free speech? Like defending Boris's lies on loose women? Come on, you know that's not right. Working folks like us get shafted." Gasps echo. Michael's jaw sets, the legend's patience fraying. "Denise, love, I voted Tory because stability matters. You can't blame one party for everything." The co-hosts freeze, Kay attempting a save, Strong views all round it. Let's hear from the audience. A supporter shouts, "Tell him." Denise. Another counters, "Respect the man's experience." Tension crackles like static, Michael's fingers drumming the desk. As the segment barrels toward chaos, Denise doubles down, citing stats on ARD's funding slashes under conservative rule, her voice rising in righteous fury. Michael counters with personal anecdotes of Thatcher-era booms, his tone sharpening. "You young ones forget the strikes that crippled us before." The exchange escalates, words flying like sparks at Denise accusing him of selling out his roots, Michael retorting with naive idealism. The audience is split, cheers and boos mingling. Producers signal frantically from the booth, "This isn't banter, it's a brawl." Kay interjects desperately, "We'll pause for thoughts after these. Don't go away." But as ads hit, Michael's face is thunderous, Denise unyielding. The storm has broken, and the studio holds its breath for the fallout. The break feels eternal, the Loose Women team huddled in urgent huddles while the audience buzzes with dissected snippets of the row. Cameras roll again, the set's cheerful colors now a stark contrast to the palpable frost between guest and panelist. Michael Caine sits ramrod straight, his iconic cool cracked just enough to reveal the steel beneath, while Denise Welch, undeterred, meets his gaze with defiant fire. Nadia Sawalha, sensing the powder keg, eases in with a neutral pivot. "Michael, before we got sidetracked, tell us about your charity work. Those East End youth programs are inspiring." He softens fractionally, voice warming as he describes mentoring kids from his old neighborhood, giving them scripts instead of street corners. That's real change. Applause swells, a brief oasis, Kel nodding vigorously. "That's the Michael we adore, a heart of gold." But peace is fleeting. A viewer question flashes on screen, "Denise, how do you balance activism with entertainment?" She seizes it like a lifeline to launch again. "It's simply entertainment without truth is propaganda." "Michael, you've played anti-heroes. Don't you see the parallel in today's leaders gaslighting the public?" Michael's laugh is short, sharp. "Gaslighting? That's rich from someone who defends every lefty excess. I've seen real violence, Hitler's bombs, not tweet storms." The studio inhales collectively. Denise's eyes widen, hurt flashing before fury takes hold. "That's low, Michaela." Equating debate to war? "You of all people, with your platform, should call out inequality, not cozy up to the elite who caused it." Voices overlap now, the panel fracturing as Kay and others try to mediate. "Let's keep it civil, ladies and gents." But Michael, goaded beyond endurance, rises slightly in his seat, pointing a finger. "Inequality? I clawed out of poverty without handouts. Your lot wants to tax success into oblivion." Denise shoots back, "Success built on whose backs?" The NHS grumbling while United Knights dine at number 10. The audience erupts, divided factions chanting support. "Here, here." For Denise's populism, "Wise up." For Michael's pragmatism, fists clench, words sharpen to barbs. Michael labels her out of touch with real economics. Denise fires out of touch with real people. Co-hosts plead, "Time out." A commercial. But the damage spirals. A water glass tips in the melee of gestures, splashing the desk. Michael's face reddens, the weight of decades fueling his retort. "I respect your fire, Denise, but this show's no soapbox for revolution." She counters, tears of frustration brimming, "And you're no revolutionary hiding behind Oscars." The buzzer blares ignored, producers yelling cut from offstage. As the feed finally blacks out to ads, the studio descends into stunned silence, broken only by scattered claps and whispers. This isn't television, it's a coliseum, and the lions are circling closer. Ad break over. The Loose Women atmosphere is electric with unresolved fury, the audience on tenterhooks as lights flare back on. Sir Michael Caine, the elder statesman pushed to his limit, exhales deeply, but his eyes burn with unspent ire. Denise Welch, mascara slightly smudged from blinked-back emotion, straightens her jacket like armor. Christine Lampard, thrust into crisis mode, opens with forced levity, "Welcome back." A few that got heated. "Michael, Denise, you've both given us gold. Any final words before we wrap?" The plea hangs, but Denise, voice trembling yet fierce, barrels ahead. "Final? This isn't over. Michael, your legacy's tainted if you back policies that starve artists like us." Apologize to the working class you claim to champion. Gasps Ripple. Michael's chair scrapes as he stands fully now, towering despite his age. His voice a thunderclap. Apologize? For earning my keep while you rant from a cushy ITV perch? I've buried friends in real wars, not Twitter own as enough. The audience splits thunderously, half roaring approval for his grit, half booing the dismissal. Chaos reigns, panelists shout over each other, a producer darts on stage with notes, but it's futile. Denise rises too, jabbing the air. Cushy? Try years of slut-shaming and sexism. You posh Tories wouldn't last a day. Michael, face ashen with rage, grabs his script pages, crumpling them. This circus disrespects everything I fought for. A good day. In a blur, he storms toward the exit, weaving past crew, his blazer flapping like a cape in retreat. The crowd parts in shock, some calling Michael, wait. But he's gone, the studio door slamming like a gunshot. Denise slumps, stunned, as co-hosts envelop her. What just happened? Cameras capture the pandemonium. Spilled water glistening, faces agog. Pale, ad-libs. Well, folks, that's Loose Woman raw and real. Tune in tomorrow for the debrief. Credits roll over. Stunned silence, but social media explodes instantly. #Kane vs Welch trends, clips viralizing the meltdown. Backstage, Michael vanishes into a waiting car, muttering to his aide, "Never again. That woman's a tornado." Denise, in tears, phones her husband, "I pushed too far, but damn it, truth hurts." The fallout looms massive. Via headlines scream. Kane storms off after Welch clash, apologies demanded, alliances tested. Yet in the wreckage, a spark, unfiltered TV at its rawest, reminding viewers that even icons bleed passion. As the sun sets on this seismic episode, one thing's clear: celebrity facades shattered, the real drama just begins.